There's free speech, and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society. We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle.
First of all, you would think that the Attorney General would know that hate speech is protected by the First Amendment. Even if you're not a big reader, it is the first one, okay? You have to read it to get to the one you like. Now, honestly, if I went back in time and told the Founding Fathers that this is what would become of the First Amendment, they would say, that's insane. And why are you wearing pants, woman? To which I would say, why are you wearing a wig? Anyway. I'm getting off track. The point is, we need to understand that no matter how mad someone makes you online, that's not enough to make it illegal. That said, if you are going to crack down on hate speech, can I request that we start with the YouTube comments under my lasagna recipe? My mozzarella portions are not gay. It's been a tough week for America. No matter what side of the aisle you've been on, we have all been processing what happened to Charlie Kirk and what's happened since. Honestly, I don't even know if I have the right words for this, but I do take comfort in knowing that I'm not the only one who can't seem to find the right words.
My condolences on the loss of the Sentinel. How are you holding up over the last 3.5 years?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty. It'll be an absolutely magnificent structure.
Well, we all grieve in our own way. To be fair to Trump, he is an old man. And when an old man wants to tell a story, it doesn't matter what you asked him about. Yeah, Uncle Marty, you want some coffee? You know, my dentist is an Asian lady. She dyed her hair pink. I told her, you look disgusting. So this week, Congress heard testimony from Kash Patel, FBI director and man who looks like he just walked in on his parents having sex with a horse.
Why don't you just release the entire file as you promised to do?
We are releasing as much as legally allowed. That's why we went back to the courts.
How is that not legally allowed?
Sir, do you know how court orders work? Do you know how protective orders work?
Actually, Mr. Patel, I was a real prosecutor for 10 years. I know exactly how.
So I was a fake one?
Why are you protecting pedophiles?
That is maybe the most offensive thing you could say to me.
That's maybe the most offensive thing you could say to me? Patel's like, listen, there's a lot you could say about me. Like, I'm the only person who looks dumber wearing glasses, or... But I almost felt bad for Patel. He had to convincingly pretend that his boss had nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein, and he was not up for the task.
How many times did President Trump's name appear in the Epstein files? Was it more than 100, more than 1,000?
It sounds like if you don't know the number, it could at least be 1,000 times.
It's not. It's not.
Is it at least 500 times?
No.
Is it at least 100 times?
No.
Then what's the number?
I don't know the number, but it's not that.
Yeah, okay? It's not that. Everyone just needs to calm down, okay? The president's name appears in the pedophile sex crime report a normal number of times, okay? Somewhere between 1 and, hey, look over there. Once Air Force One landed, the UK rolled out the red carpet. The president, the first lady made a stunning entrance with Melania hiding her head under a UFO. And from there, it was on to Windsor Castle to tell the beef eaters that he's also on an all-beef diet. And that was followed by a parade in which one horse gave Trump a special salute of his own. You know RFK Jr. texted him after, like, bring me some leftovers. But then, of course, Trump took part in the time-honored tradition of pretending he cares about history. Sorry, what the hell is going on with Melania right here? Is she even in there, or did she just put her clothes on a coat rack and sneak out? Now, tomorrow, Trump will be meeting with the Prime Minister to talk policy, but he had such a wonderful time today with all the pomp and circumstance, and it must have been so nice to spend some time in such ultimate surroundings and forget all about the drama and the troubles back home.
Protesters here overnight projecting a photo of President Trump alongside convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein on the walls of Windsor.
Oh, man, not all over the good castle.
Gaze upon him with a gait even more majestic than that of the royal horses that pranced before him. He wowed the English with charm, intelligence, and an undeniable sexual charisma that filled their air like a pheromone-packed London fog. And as part of this historic trip, the perfectly tinted Trump dazzled his hosts at dinner with a demonstration of unmatched oratory skill.
A fifth of all of humanity speaks, writes, thinks, and prays in the language born on these isles and perfected in the pages of Shakespeare and Dickens and Tolkien, and Lewis, Orwell, and Kipling. Incredible people.
He didn't have to look down once. Completely off book as he name-checked his favorite authors from the top of his head. Trump employing restraint, not to quote verbatim these great authors. Our president has devoured voraciously.
We saw the dismissal of a very well-known chat show host in America last night, Mr. Kimmel. Is free speech more under attack in Britain or America?
How dare you, sir! How dare you, sir! What outfit are you with, sir? The Antifa Herald Tribune? Why, I wouldn't even line my parents' cage with your rag. There's a very reasonable explanation for what befell this scallywag Kimball.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you can call that free speech or not.
Shut the up! Yay! You may call it free speech in jolly old England, but in America we have a little something called the First Amendment. And let me tell you how it works. There's something called a talent-o-meter.